What table? What table? Oh, you have a table?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, I would like to introduce Eagle Scout Liam Johnson from Troop 100, Westborough Charter by the Evangelical Congregational Church, who will lead us in the presentation of the colors and the Pledge of Allegiance with Scouts from Westborough Packs 100 and 3033, Troops 11, 100 and 382, and Crew 100.
What do you want to say next year?
Thank you, Mr. Alexander. With Veterans Day upon us, I would like to take this opportunity to recognize all of our veterans who have served in the armed forces and through their service and sacrifice have allowed us to enjoy living in the greatest nation in the world. Please stand and be recognized. Will the audience please stand and join me for the presentation of the colors and the Pledge of Allegiance. Color Guard, attention. Color Guard, present the colors. Scout salute. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Color Guard, post the colors. Thank you. You may be seated.
Welcome to the 2021 Westborough Good Scout Award Dinner. My name is Todd Alexander, and I have the distinct pleasure of serving as co-chair of this year's Westborough Good Scout Committee, along with Amber Bach. Tonight, we are gathered to honor Maureen and Ian Johnson, not only for their accomplishments as outstanding public servants, but more importantly, for their role as outstanding community leaders. We will also be celebrating Scouting and the outstanding work of our young people. The core mission of Scouting has remained strong, and the program has touched the lives of thousands of youth throughout the community of Westborough and millions of lives across this great nation. The goal of Scouting has always been to build the confidence of young people so they will have the opportunity to practice and implement leadership skills in a safe and positive environment. Many of these young people will take the lessons learned in Scouting and apply them in our businesses and in our communities. They are our future leaders of tomorrow. Thank you all for your support. It is truly appreciated. At this time, I'd also like to recognize my fellow committee members that have been working diligently for the past year to make this event a showcase, not only for Scouting, but also for the outstanding individuals we are here to honor tonight. I would like to take a moment to recognize the committee. Please stand and be recognized. Okay, so we're actually going to go out of script for a moment here. We do have a couple of our state representatives, Representative Dykema and Kane are here, and we're going there. They have a bit of a time constraint, so we're going to give the podium to them for for a presentation from the State House.
Good evening. Congratulations to Maureen and Ian. Terrific. And Representative Kane and I have the great pleasure and honor of being just the first of many who will be giving both of you a recognition and citation here this evening. So I'm very pleased about that. Also want to recognize all of the wonderful young scouts who did the color guard earlier and started us off today. I am a big believer in the scouting program, and I've seen it work magic in the lives of young men, and I'm actually very proud to be an Eagle mom myself. And so from personal experience, I saw what the scouting program did for my son in really turning him in from a young boy into truly a young man with confidence and skills to be able to bring to the world and make a real difference. So it's personally very meaningful for me to be here to recognize Maureen and Ian for really embodying the characteristics and the importance of scouting and what that looks like in the community. And I can truly think of no better honorees when you think about scouting being relevant to citizenship and how important citizenship is, how important giving back, giving to country, honoring moral uprightness, character development, all of those things. I think Maureen and Ian, in more ways than we can describe, have done that for the community of Westborough and continue to do it. Not because they get anything back from it other than a lot of personal satisfaction, I am sure, but just give because it's the right thing to do, and they see it working on the community and working to make the community a better place for all of us. And so what an honor to be able to celebrate them and all of their contributions, because it's touched a lot of people. So thank you from the heart to both of you, and thanks to all of you who've come out tonight to celebrate with them and with us.
Always a hard act to follow, but I'm thrilled to be here as well tonight and to honor two people who are very good friends and people who do so much. Every time I talk to Maureen, she's filling me in on something else that she is working on, and oh, by the way, do you want to donate it to it? Which she's very good at cross-selling. But they're a couple who bring such joy to this community through all the work that they do, and that everything is best culminated in them and their son Liam, Liam, I'm going to embarrass you, he's probably dying right now, but I think the world of this family. They really embody what it means to be community contributors and to be very focused on what each of us is responsible for providing for our community. There isn't any endeavor that happens that they haven't donated to or been a part of or been a leader of in this community since as long as I've been a part of it. And I'm so glad that they're being honored tonight. I know Maureen hates to have the focus on her, but I'm very glad that she is part of this. In fact, last year I nominated her to be a Commonwealth Heroine because of all that she has done for the community of Westborough, and she was honored with that, and it was a perfect person for it. But I also, as Carolyn said, really want to acknowledge all the work that goes on in scouting. When you think of the impact to the young men and their lives, that happens with scouting, and it happens only because the community cares about it. It doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's the parents and it's the broader community who makes a commitment to scouting, and Westborough has a huge commitment to scouting, which you see visually every time we come together to celebrate the Good Scout Award, but on so many different occasions. I've always said that there has to be more Eagle Scouts per capita here in Westborough than any place else in the world. But I so enjoy coming and seeing the celebrations when young men reach that mark, because when you look at the pictures and you see the people who are sitting there with them, it is the strength of the Westborough community behind them and as a part of it. So we come here tonight to celebrate both of you. We also come here tonight with celebrations from the House of Representatives, from the Senate, and from the Governor and Lieutenant Governor, acknowledging what an amazing couple you are, how much you've given to the community, and how much you've given to scouting. And we're very happy to be with you tonight. I don't know if we can present them to them. Is that okay if you come up and, Maureen, that includes you.
Come on up. Yeah. Sure. So we've got many citations here. I will start off with an official Senate citation from Senator Eldridge, who is very much with us here tonight in spirit and offers this to both of you, and I will read it. It reads, "An official citation, be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to Ian and Maureen Johnson in recognition of receiving the 2021 Westborough Good Scout Award, and be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends its best wishes for continued success, and that this citation be duly signed by the President of the Senate and attested to, and a copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the Senate, and it's signed by the Senate President, Karen Spilka, as well as Senator Jamie Eldridge, to both of you. So congratulations.
Two other citations we have one from the House of Representatives with similar wording congratulating you on receiving the 2021 Good Scout Award, which is signed by the Speaker as well as Carolyn and myself and Danielle Gregoire, who was here earlier and unfortunately had to go to another event. And then I also bring with me congratulations from the Governor and Lieutenant Governor, and it says, "Maureen and Ian Johnson, on behalf of the citizens of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, pleased to confer upon you this Governor's citation in recognition of being named the 2021 Westborough Good Scout Award recipients by the Mayflower Council, Boy Scouts of America, and for your numerous contributions to the community and service on behalf of others." And it's signed by the Governor and Lieutenant Governor today. So congratulations.
Thank you both very much. That was great. So it's now my pleasure to introduce Brian Feather, Scout Executive and CEO of Mayflower Council, who will provide the invocation for this evening's meal. Please stand.
Thank you very much. Please prepare for prayer in the manner that you're accustomed. Dear Lord, we want to thank you for this opportunity to get together to celebrate the accomplishments of Ian and Maureen. Thank you for allowing us to join together in with common values and with a reverence to you as we gather and celebrate. We pray that you would just bless the food that we're about to partake, and bless it to our bodies, bless us to your service. In your name, amen.
Thank you, Scouts and Brian Feather. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy your dinner. Hello, everyone. So, I realize some of you are still eating and probably haven't gotten the dessert yet, but want to keep things going here. So we want to proceed with the evening program. I do want to give a shout out and a special thank you to the Westborough High School String Quartet, who did a great job. Okay, so at this time we have a few special recognitions and proclamations. Let's see who else is. I think we have somebody from the Board of Selectmen coming up.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan Edinburgh, a member of the Select Board and currently serving as chair. We'd like to present Ian and Maureen with this citation of recognition. On behalf of the town of Westborough and its citizens, we hereby issue the citation to Ian and Maureen Johnson in recognition of their receiving the 2021 Good Scout Award. Thank you for your service and dedication to the Westborough community. For some reason, only 4 of the 5 members of the select board have signed this so far. So if you guys can please come up.
Alan's given me a nudge here to remind me that I am going to go off script a little bit here. We received an email from somebody this evening who couldn't make it due to the doctor advising her not to come. And since she was a babysitter of mine, I guess 45 years ago, I told her I would read this for her tonight. So. We know many of you will be testifying as to the contributions of Maureen and Ian tonight. Not being able to attend in person, we wanted to add a brief acknowledgement of how much we appreciate their contributions during the last 2 decades, during which we worked with them. We are fortunate to have so many couples in town who support each other in common or individual endeavors that enrich us. Maureen and Ian are among elite, if you will, of those. From scouts, land trusts, the arts, fundraising for diverse programs, town finance and governance, and just being good citizens and compassionate friends to so many. We admire them each for their own attributes: tenacity, enthusiasm, even-handedness, diplomacy, understanding of finance at the town and state level, innovative and creative action, support of youth, families, seniors, and local small and large businesses, knowledgeable, well-grounded approaches to town issues, and seeing the town as a whole. Those of you who also volunteer can appreciate, but it is impossible to tally or estimate the hours over the past 20 years that Ian and Maureen have graciously, modestly contributed to our greater good. And all this while providing a consistent, loving, and nourishing environment for their talented son, Liam, who, by virtue of being involved in their interest, has also contributed his unique efforts and work and been patient and understanding of his parents. Most sincerely, Lee Emery and Timothy Buckley. Okay, so we have several guests from the Mayflower Council Executive Board and staff with us this evening. Mayflower Council President Ian Johnson, thanks for coming. Mayflower Council CEO and Scout Executive Brian Feather. And with the other executive board members and council staff members here this evening, please stand and be recognized. And Council Good Scout. Carlene, you can keep standing because I want to call you out. Carlene is she's the backbone of this. She's why we're all here tonight. She is phenomenal. She is our Good Scout Dinner staff advisor, Carlene Covino. All right, we also have several past honorees of the Good Scout Award in the audience tonight. And what is very special this evening is that this is our 20th anniversary of celebrating the Westborough Good Scout Award. So on this special anniversary, I would ask that each of you in attendance please stand and be recognized as I recite the full list of past recipients. 2019, Todd Alexander and Charlotte Spinney, the Lady Baden-Powell Award. 2018, Al Gordon and Judy Wilczynski, Lady Baden-Powell Award. 2017, Deborah Penta. 2016, Joe Harrington. 2015, the Honorable John S. McCann. 2014, Peter Gardner. 2013, Lester Hensley. 2012, Ryan Maloney. 2011, Rod Janae. 2010, Jack Wilson. 2009, Herb Alexander. 2008, Nelson Ball. 2007, Christina Allen. 2006, Jim Harvey. 2005, Lydia Goldblatt. 2004, Dr. Robert Klugman. 2003, Jim Tashian. 2002, Henry Danis and Charlotte Bramley. And 2001, John Hero. At this time, I'd like to introduce Amber Bach, who will be serving as our Master of Ceremonies.
All right, Todd, now you can relax. It is so incredibly good to look out into this crowd and after hearing that list of names to acknowledge what an incredible community this is. To see so many faces and to feel a sense of community and to see us coming back together after a long hiatus of not being in person, I have to say that the popular conversation of the evening is how good it is to be together. I am exceptionally pleased tonight to serve as your MC, and I look forward to a continued set of celebrations. And one of them begins before we reach to Maureen and Ian by taking a moment to recognize Karen Henderson, who tonight we actually let her sit at the table and eat dinner. She's not behind the camera. And I just want to acknowledge the incredible work of Karen and her staff who keep us updated and informed of all that goes on in Westborough all of the time. Last year, when we could not meet in person, her team created an amazing event for us, a salute to scouting, which was pushed out on Westborough TV, sustained our fundraising, and gave us a sense of community during a time of immense stress. We've been showing excerpts of this on the broadcast. You can go to Westborough TV and take some time and enjoy it. It is really a celebration of a whole series of Eagle Scouts and their amazing projects, as well as the voice of past honorees. It's well worth the time for you to enjoy. Once again, I want to thank Karen, and personally, the schools really love her. We just feel very fortunate that she keeps us all connected. So Karen, thank you. And it really is, of course, a Johnson evening because Liam's project as an Eagle Scout was amazing. And we have heard I can tell you what a great student he is as superintendent of schools, but we won't spend time embarrassing him. But it is really an honor for me each year to see the Scouts step forward, many of them who I see in school. And tonight I'm pleased to introduce Eagle Scout Liam Johnson to step before you as a troop member of Troop 100 who will share with us tonight his thoughts on scouting and how it prepared him for life's journey. Liam, I'll turn the podium over to you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Liam Johnson, although she just mentioned that. And I am a very recent Eagle Scout from Troop 100 here in Westborough. Before I begin, I would like to thank all of you guys for coming out tonight to honor my parents with this well-deserved award. The Good Scout is awarded to those that exemplify the qualities of an Eagle Scout in their everyday lives and in the community, which is what I'm here to speak about tonight. Obtaining Scouting's highest rank is not something easily done, with only around 5% of our nation's youth earning it during their Scouting careers. Speaking from experience, without my mom telling me to work on my Eagle project or to go find another merit badge, I would never have gotten to where I am today. My Scouting journey started nearly 7 years ago, but now seems like an eternity, way back when I was a little 5-foot-tall 5th grader. At the time, I could never imagine where Scouting would take me and how much it would influence me and shape me into the person I am today. Hopefully that public speaking merit badge is paying off right now. Growing up in the troop, I made friends to last a lifetime, went on numerous camping trips I'll never forget, and learned leadership skills that few other programs could provide. In my early years in the troop, my troop guides, patrol leaders, and senior patrol leader quickly became my role models, as for the first time, everything was 100% boy-led. Boys who were only a few years older than me were in charge of 10, 12, even 15 kids who were sometimes older than them. I've heard numerous people, including my dad, say that being a patrol leader was one of the hardest jobs they've ever had. and reflecting back on my time in scouting now, I can completely agree with them. As I moved through the ranks, from scout to tenderfoot and eventually first class, I began to fill in the roles of the guys I had looked up to for years, something I had never believed I was capable of doing. I distinctly remember my first patrol meeting. I had a few friends, a couple younger scouts, and then a bunch of juniors and seniors in high school looking to me, an 8th grader at the time, to lead them. I felt this sort of fear and intimidation I had rarely felt before. Yet for some strange reason, I did not falter or give up. Something about the other scouts, or simply the program itself, motivated me to overcome my fear and step up to the challenge. That first year as a leader, a position I had rarely filled in other places, my capabilities grew immensely, thanks to the help of the fellow scouts and encouragement of the troop. Not only was I able to successfully, well most of the time, lead the patrol, but I had a lot of fun doing it and enjoyed working with the older and younger kids. They respected me and listened to what I had to say, and when I was lost or confused, the senior patrol leader or any other older scout was always there to help and support me. This was only the start of my leadership journey. As I continued to move through merit badges and rank up towards the seemingly unattainable rank of Eagle, I strived to take on more and more demanding roles. I wanted to be what older scouts when I joined the troop were to me for the younger kids entering the troop. I soon became the senior patrol leader, a position in which I was responsible for the entire troop, a group of around 30 boys at the time. It was a role in which I was able to thrive and in which my leadership abilities were truly put to the test, allowing me to grow immensely. These experiences are what I look back on as what enabled and motivated me to reach Eagle. Although it may have taken the majority of my high school career to complete, I wouldn't have traded any of the hours put in for anything else. To briefly explain, my project consisted of building a gazebo on the shores of Lake Chauncey with historical signs and memorial of the State Hospital and Lyman Reform School as a means of preserving their history in the town. Tasked with leading scouts, friends, and adults, earning the rank and completing the project was no small feat and truly tested my ability to lead others. Reflecting on these experiences, both with my project and scouting as a whole, I see many similarities in the lives of my parents. They both exhibit leadership qualities that stand out in the community and elsewhere, whether it be with the Education Foundation, Cultural Council, Select Board, or at work. The effort I've seen them put into any endeavor or organization continues to amaze me daily, and is something that I attempt to build into my own character. Not to mention, they go through their busy lives with constant smiles and are always willing to help out wherever they can. I cannot imagine two individuals who exemplify the ideals of being a true good scout more than Ian and Maureen Johnson, and I am honored not only to speak on their behalf this evening, but also to have them as my parents. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Now, those of us that are parents know that that's the real reward tonight for Maureen and Ian. Liam, we have to give you a gift. You gotta come back up. You can wait here while I say a few nice things about you. It is always incredibly special to see the trajectory of young people moving through finding their identities and developing leadership, and I think scouting for all of us represents so much of that. Ian, your chance to share your insights and perspectives mean a great amount, and it is an inspiration to the younger scouts that are here, and all of you young children at home, and encourage you all for you young women and young men to seek scouting as an important part of their life. I am confident that you will have a positive impact, Liam, with your lineage, as well as your own independent autonomy and focus for excellence, which I know you own. It is immensely exciting to see a young leader that we know will have impact in the community for years to come. On behalf of the Mayflower Council, we would like to present you with a small acknowledgement of our appreciation for you being here tonight, writing a speech, taking the time, all the things that I know that you did. And this gift is actually very cool. It's one that I think your mother's going to hang on to until you really appreciate later. It is actually this very beautifully sculpted bowl that's done in it's carved for him with the scouting. So actually one of move on to our two honorees for the evening. This portion of the awards ceremony becomes a special recognition of what brought us here this evening. The opportunity to value our community, to enjoy scouting, and to recognize two people that we care for so much. At this time, I'm going to ask that Maureen and Ian be escorted to the stage by our scouts. You have to find a couple, I don't know. How about we grab Liam, who just did a good job, and the two scouts near him, and you escort them out before the presentation. Thank you. Okay, all right. Thank you. The Good Scout Award is an incredibly unique award because it also celebrates scouting, but is presented to individuals who truly do exemplify through themselves, through outstanding community leadership, the concerns for the welfare of others, and are recognized by their peers, all of us, as having achieved an exceptional level of accomplishment in their chosen field and are considered to be true role models for not only scouting, but for youth. As tonight's MC, I will say that I feel incredibly fortunate to know these two amazing people. I know, from spending a bit of time with them, that they would never and would decline to ever be called a Westborough power couple. But I know they would also welcome being known as a Westborough family package of energy and commitment. You can flip their names around. You all know this, those of you that work with them, any way you want. You can say Ian and Maureen. You can say Maureen and Ian. You can even just use one of their names, Maureen or Ian. Just ask Ian or call Maureen is what you often hear. Usually as you see them out in the community. But what you know is that the Johnson team is going to show up. As a member of the Westborough community and someone who works in the town, I find both of these two people inspire me. And I spend time with a lot of good people. They're pretty impressive parents. As we look at them tonight, they inspire me both as individuals and as a couple. And that makes them particularly unique. What I am always struck about is it's not just the incredible breadth of what they accomplish in Westborough, but it's the way they wear the work, and it's how they live it. No matter, and I know many of you sitting out in this audience know it, no matter how you approach them or where, you are always going to find that they are gracious, they are committed, and they are tireless. While they are also a heck of a lot of fun, just want to add, and they're incredibly kind and positive at all times. Being a volunteer, serving in your community, many of you in this audience do that as well, and it can be exceptionally difficult work, which we don't often talk about. The Johnson clan wears it with grace. We are incredibly lucky that they found each other and that they have made Westborough their home, and it's a much better place for all of us because of it. We have people here tonight who have even more important things and know them even better. At this time, I'm going to ask Allison Johnson Hall to come forward to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. As you all know, I'm Allison Johnson Hall. Thank you for the introduction, but I'm Ian's sister and Maureen's sister-in-law, and I could not be more proud and pleased to be here. It really is a pleasure and a privilege to introduce two of my very favorite people in the world. As you all know, the Good Scout Award is bestowed upon individuals who have demonstrated integrity and genuine concern for others in both their professional and personal lives. And as people have said tonight, there are not two people who have done more in their lives in everything that they do. Ian has been a member of the Board of Selectmen. He served on the Finance Committee for years. He actually was the chair of the Board of Selectmen. He's very involved in scouting. He's the president of the current president of the Mayflower Council. And he also serves on the Board of Trustees of Eckerd College in St. Petersburg, Florida, and is the chairman of the executive of the investment committee at that board as well. I have to read this now when I get to Maureen because there's so many things that I just don't want to miss anything. So Maureen is the president of the Westborough Education Foundation, treasurer of the Westborough Cultural Council, co-chair of Arts in Common, president of the Westborough Public Library Foundation. She chairs the annual Trivia Bee, co-chairs the Turkey Trot, and she was recently named a 2020 Commonwealth Heroine. Very apt. Now, I know that all of you here probably feel that you know Ian and Maureen very well, but I'm going to give you a little test. Did you know that Maureen grew up in Buffalo, New York, was born there, was raised there, and was one of 5 children? In fact, she grew up at 418 Parker Ave, the house where her mother still lives. And I've heard Betsy, her mom, say numerous times, if the walls at 418 Ave could speak, there would be some stories to tell. Maureen was also a member, did you know, she was also a member of the Campfire Girls growing up. And she loved the activities, she loved the service projects, but she particularly loved the camping. And I know Betsy, as a leader of that group, also enjoyed the camping, and there were quite some stories that we probably can't get into here, but they had a wonderful time camping. Now, did you know that Ian was born in Natick, grew up here in Westborough, was the youngest of 3 children, 2 older sisters, and Ian, being a little bit younger than us, always wanted to tag along with his older sisters, and so much so that he would say to our mom numerous times, "Can we 3 girls go to the library?" Ian, you've come a long way, baby. Did you know that Maureen was one of 5? So there's a big family, lots of activity going on. And Maureen is the second to youngest, but in my opinion, she is the leader of her family. Did you know that Ian and Maureen both had paper routes when they were young? And Ian, in fact, had one particular client who just really couldn't get his name right, and so every week she would pay for her paper by writing a check to Ivan Johnson. Ian would cash it. And I think Ian still answers to Ivan. Another test. Did you know that Ian and Maureen both went far from home to go to college? Maureen left Buffalo, drove 8 hours to get to Boston College after graduating from Narden in Buffalo, and had 4 wonderful years there, and graduated, has lifelong friends that she still does tons of things with, and just a wonderful experience. Ian got on a plane actually and flew to St. Petersburg, Florida to attend Eckerd College, where he graduated his freshman year. Did you know that he had a roommate who had a pet snake in his room? When I would go down to visit, I would keep my eye on that cage just to make sure the snake didn't get out. They do things differently in Florida.
I hate snakes.
Did you know that Ian and Maureen met at Fidelity Investments? They were both working in the operations department, and while they were there for numerous years, Maureen was recruited away to work at Charter Financial. Ian was recruited away to work at Harvard Management, but then came back to Fidelity, where he still works today. But the beginning of their relationship was eating lunch together at Fidelity. Thank goodness they met there. One other test. Did you know that Ian and Maureen were married on a beautiful sunny day in September in Buffalo, New York, but they almost didn't make it to their reception. After a gorgeous church ceremony, all the pictures were taken, everybody had left to go to the reception, and Ian and Maureen went to get in the limo. And the limo driver turned the key over, nothing's happening. Thank God, Will, Maureen's brother, took off his tux jacket, rolled up his sleeves, and helped the limo driver figure out what underneath the hood, what needed to be fixed. And Ian and Maureen made it a little bit late, but made it to a beautiful reception, and it was a lovely, lovely wedding. One last thing. Did you know that Ian and Maureen, when they were waiting for the arrival of their child, as was the custom in our family, we would have a lottery where we would all put $1 in, or a pool, and we would try to guess the exact date that the baby was going to be born. And Maureen's due date was March 4th, and so I was trying to get some inside information, so I asked her, do you think it's February? Do you think it's March? And she said to me, I just want a healthy baby, and I don't want my baby to be born on leap year. Did you know that Liam Johnson was born on February 29th, 2004? The only leap year baby that I have ever known. Is there anyone else in the room who's a leap year baby? I don't know that there are too many. They're very unique. On a serious note, I do want to mention two incredibly important women who would have loved to have been here tonight and deserved to be here because they were such role models for Ian and Maureen. Betsy unfortunately could not travel from Buffalo to be here, but we know she is absolutely beaming with pride. And our mom, Penny, is watching over us tonight, and we know that the two people that would be clapping the loudest, the longest, and the hardest would be Penny and Betsy. And as I wrap things up, I really wanted to thank all of you for being here tonight. I wanted to thank the committee for awarding Ian and Maureen because it's just so well deserved. But most importantly, I want to thank Ian and Maureen for all they have done in the past, all they continue to do, and all that they will do in the future. They are truly exceptional people, and I am in awe of the amount of time and energy they do, all without expecting anything in return. And this award is so well deserved. Just pleased to be here tonight to join with all of you in honoring Ian and Maureen. Thank you.
Allison up here with me, and I would like to ask her to actually help me in presenting the Good Scout Award, as well as a very special commemorative 20th anniversary award, special for the two of you. We didn't want to get them two statues. So this year it is, as you see at your tables, the 20 at your table represents the 20th year of the Good Scout Anniversary Award, and we would like very much to have, it's kind of advantageous that it's going to be a special night where you two also receive that special gift. So I will have Allison gather the gifts. I wanted this. It's not. So they made, it's a Lennox ornament that has a Good Scout tab on it and notes that it's the 20th year, and again, something I think they'll enjoy and be able to have. Congratulations to the two of you. We are immensely proud to honor you tonight, and at this time we'll turn it over to our honorees.
Maureen just said she wanted a drink, and I think I agree. The seating chart, if anybody wants to see that. So thank you all for being here. Maureen and I are honored and humbled to be chosen for the Westborough Good Scout Award this year. We are following in the footprints of giants in the Westborough community. Individuals that have been role models, mentors, advisors, and friends to us over the years. Some may even have held me as a baby. Right, Charlotte? The past 20 years of this event has seen honorees that truly represent the best of Westborough, the who's who, if you will, of our community.
To be recognized alongside each of them is truly special for both of us. Before going further, we would like to thank the Good Scout Committee, especially this year's co-chairs Todd Alexander and Amber Bach, also Carlene Cavino from the Mayflower Council, and all of you that are here in attendance this evening. Our family and our friends that support us each and every day, even when Maureen calls looking for a donation to one of her events. And as such, we'd also like to recognize those sponsors that have contributed to this evening's event, raising money for the scouting program in Westborough and the 61 other cities and towns in Metro West and the South Shore that make up Mayflower Council. So thank you. Special thanks as well to our son Liam and our sister Allison for your roles in tonight's event. And Liam, a special thank you from your mom and I for finally completing your Eagle Scout Award. As Liam said, we think he may have had the longest Eagle project ever. But it turned out great, so thank you. We are so proud of Liam and have high hopes for him to go on and do great things, and perhaps even becoming a Westborough Good Scout himself one day. In fact, this is a did you know, like Allison said. We all know that your senior superlatives in high schools. Well, Liam's senior superlative, breaking the news before people hear about it, is that Liam is the most likely to stay in Westborough. And so is Callie Henderson. So what has scouting taught Maureen and I? For me, growing up as a scout taught me that service to others is a mantra of the scouting program. One of the tenets of the Scout Oath is to help other people at all times, and the Scout slogan is do a good turn daily. These highlight the importance of community service and giving back to others. A great example is Scouting for Food, which, as many of you know, is occurring this weekend to support our community food pantry and our neighbors. So the reminder is don't forget to leave your bags out Saturday morning for the Scouts to pick those up. For me, one of the service events that shaped my life as a young Scout was running the microphones at town meetings. I provided a service to the residents, but I also got to see democracy in action. Learning from good Scouts, such as Jim Tajan and Joe Harrington, both former town moderators, or good Scouts Chris Allen, Lydia Goldblatt, or Rod Cheney, all former Board of Selectmen members. Observing the service they provided as volunteers for the community inspired me to want to participate in town government as I grew older. It did also give me the toughest job interview ever, when I had to convince Joe Harrington that I'd be a good choice for the Advisory Finance Committee. And I don't know that I would have gotten that job if it wasn't for Polly Howard and Lee Emery putting in a good word for me that day. So Maureen has followed a similar path to service. And I apologize, I'm speaking for her because as folks know, she isn't really enjoying standing up here right now. So Maureen has followed a similar path to service, inspired and motivated by others, many who are here in this room. As a Boston College alumnus, she embodies the Jesuits' motto, men and women for others, meaning we are to be at the service of our brothers and sisters. What makes Maureen truly unique is her passion for service and giving back, coupled with her unselfish humility. Maureen loves to operate under the radar and out of the spotlight. She is embarrassed by recognition, which is evident right now. She is at her best, though, when she operates with her fellow Musketeers, Maura and Sarah. Maureen truly enjoys giving back to the community, thoroughly enjoying working with and meeting new people. To her, that's what truly makes it fun. In addition to enjoying the volunteer work she does, Maureen likes to set an example for others to get involved. For a community to thrive, it takes volunteers to make things happen. Identifying something you are passionate about, inviting others to join, and rolling up your sleeves and getting it done. When you get involved, you're not just doing a job, you're also learning and building relationships and setting a good example for the younger generation. In fact, another do you know, the relationships Maureen has made, I believe, make her more of a townie than me. In our world today, the concepts of community service and helping others without looking for recognition or rewards is more important than ever. Scouting, our schools, our religious institutions, and other civic organizations work hard to provide opportunities And each one of us can give of our time, talent, and treasure to support those organizations and causes that we're passionate about. We know we're speaking to the choir with most of you in this room, but we hope that we all take away the good feelings from tonight and continue to encourage others to volunteer and serve. Scouting has set a great example of the last 100 years. Do a good turn daily and help other people at all times. Committing to these ideals can make all of us good scouts. So thank you all once again. We're truly honored to be receiving this award tonight. Thank you.
You can be seated for just a second. I told you they inspire me. We all need to feel that sense of energy to give back, to do the small thing that we can reach out and contribute, to model for others, to step forward. Ian just crystallized it all in a way that makes me feel like I might join another committee, maybe. I see so many faces out here. It's the work that we do to create community. I encourage all of you to continue to find ways to exemplify what the Good Scout and what Maureen and Ian and all those other Good Scouts here tonight have represented for all of us. We all want to leave feeling good. Hope you do. I want to thank Todd. It's been very fun to co-chair with him. We both get to rotate off. We can just help and maybe let someone else chair. We'll start picking now. I'm going to, at this time, invite Brian Feather, who will give a benediction, and we'll close, and we'll say goodnight to each other, and we will head home. I'll turn it back to Brian.
Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Ian and Maureen, for all that you do. It's obvious that you're loved here by everyone, and just want to thank you all for your participation in this event tonight. So if you'll join me in a benediction. Lord, we want to thank you for your love and watch care over us. Thank you for pillars of the community like Ian and Maureen. I want to thank you that we're able to be blessed by them and through them. Pray that you just grant us all safety as we travel home and help us to serve you well. In your name, amen.
Thank you for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure to be with all of you. Drive safely, and you get some time to say goodbye to each other, and hopefully we'll see each other at another event soon. Thank you, and have a good night. Maureen, I forgot to give you your flowers too.